Okay, I think we're going to start straight away. Welcome, everybody, wherever you join us from. I hope you can hear me. Hi, Mary. How are you doing?
I'm blessed and highly favored. How are you too?
Oh, I'm also highly exalted, blessed, and highly favored. Yeah, that is our response to how are you. So, in case you're thinking what's going on, that's our typical response. We want to start with a prayer and welcome every one of you and tell you what we have for today. So, if you don't mind, let's start praying and then we take off with today's task. Lord, we thank you for this morning. We are grateful for the opportunity to share on this very important subject. We ask that you bless our audience, open their heart to understand what we'll be discussing today. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
We want to welcome everybody wherever you're joining us from Facebook or YouTube. If you are joining us from Norway, from Africa, from Asia, from any part of the world, can you send in the chat, say hi from Canada, hi from Ontario, hi from wherever you join us from. We are going to be discussing today the basic differences between male or men and women. And this is super important because a lot of the conflict we have to deal with in relationships um, mostly have to do with a lack of understanding of it's another day, PK. Great. So I can see PK joining from Canada. He says it's another day. Good to see you, PK, once again. So most of the conflicts we go through in love relationships or in marriages, a lot of them has to just do with basic lack of understanding about who a woman is and who a man is and what they think, each of them think about. So before we dive in, Mary is going to give us a talk today. But before we dive in, a quick announcement just to let you know a few things that we have for you. So, first of all, I want to show people have got in touch to ask us where are the previous episodes we've had. So, if you go to our YouTube channel at beautifulmarriedgarden.com or at
Can you
beautiful
share your
married,
screen again?
can I share green? Okay, sure,
Yes.
certainly. Um, Let me try again and tell me if it shows from your end.
Okay, yeah, it's showing from my end.
Awesome. So if you go to our YouTube page at Beautiful Marriage Garden, you see the playlist. Under playlist, also podcast. That's where you have all the episodes we've done so far. All the episodes
Yes,
we've done.
please go ahead. Our Father in
But then the part I want to really show you is the playlist. So we've grouped all the podcasts we've had so far into playlists. So we had a series of podcasts on healing from past relationships. We had another series on physical features and love relationship. Then we also spoke extensively on marriage proposal, when to propose, how to accept, how to reject, and what to do as a lady if you see a guy interested in you who is still not speaking. And then we moved on to talk about important conversations to have when you are dating. And last week, we finished off a series on the five love languages. So that is where
I
we.
think we would probably have to add the five languages to the important conversation to have while dating. What do you think?
Oh, okay. That's very much related. So I think that's a good idea as well.
Okay.
So, for those who want to see what we've done in the past, please go there, help yourself, get any item that you find useful, share with friends. It's at no cost. Feel free, share them as much as you can, as long as it's being used to be a blessing to others. That is what we like to see. Now, the last thing announcement before we dive into today's talk, our new book is on the way. I am so excited about that. Um, I wonder if I should give a snapshot of it. So, our new book, this book, we've written a couple of books, but this particular book has really come out of a burden and a passion based on our counseling for young sisters, young ladies. So this book is captioned Single and Searching, the Lady's Guide to Find and Attract the Right Husband. So practical, we have very practical steps a lady can take in finding the right husband. So we talk about things like the circle of connections, and it sounds big, but once you break it down, you see that these are, and how to take advantage of recommendations and so on. So if you would like to contribute to this book, this is one of the first time we are doing something like this. If you feel that there's something, a burden on your heart that you might want to your voice to be heard in this book, we're asking you to send an email at mybeautifulmarriedgarden@gmail.com, and I'll book a time, a Zoom, 30-minute Zoom time with you to chat and hear what thoughts you have. And your voice will be heard in the book, and you will get uh, the acknowledgement as well. So we want to do this together with you. So if that's something that interests you, Mary, do we have that? Okay, great. So either you can reach us on our website, www.beautifulmarriedgarden.com/counseling, to let notify us of your interest, or send us an email, mybeautifulmarriedgarden@gmail.com. We'll just meet with you and then chat and hear what you think as far as struggles for searching a spouse, or if you have ideas, we'll listen to your thoughts and see if we can include that in the book, and give you a shout out when we do the acknowledgement. Okay, so we are all good to go. Mary, are you really ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so without much ado, I want to hand over to you to take us through this journey on differences between men and women.
Okay. Yes. So before I start, just to share this with you, and I hope that people are ready to learn today. So let me share this.
Welcome to the Beautiful Marriage Garden podcast, where we nurture love and relationships to flourish like a well tended garden. In today's episode, we'll be diving into an exciting topic: the basic differences between men and women. These differences often cause misunderstanding, but when we learn to appreciate them, they become the very strengths that enrich our relationships. Join us as we unpack these differences, share practical insights, and explore how they can help us grow stronger together. Don't miss this conversation. It could be the key to more peace, joy, and connection in your marriage or future marriage. Subscribe to the Beautiful Marriage Garden channel and tune in on Saturday at 11 a.m. EST. Let's grow love God's way.
Beautiful.
Great. I hope the video didn't just stop in the middle, but this is the conversation we are going to have today. We are going to have a conversation on the basic differences between men and women. So I'm going to be sharing my slide very soon. Then we take up the conversation from there. But just to let all of us know, this conversation we are going to have today is something that is very relevant for every love relationship, and most at time we overlook it. And just like the five love languages, overlooking it has its own disadvantages. So today we're going to spend our time to talk about it, and we will be very very detailed about it. Michael, it looks like today we are rocking. I just realized that the slide color
Oh, even the slide.
it wasn't intentional, to be frank.
Wow, that's interesting. I'm just my attention just been drawn to it as well.
Yes, yes, yes. It wasn't intentional, though. Yes. So today, as Michael introduced the talk, we are going to talk about the basic differences between men and women, and we want to first set up the premise that men and women were created differently by God to complement each other.
Hmm.
So never feel sad because of your gender or because you are a man or you're a woman. No, We were beautifully created to complement each other, and
mm,
understanding the uniqueness of our existence will help every relationship to thrive. It could be a marriage relationship, it could be dating, courting, whatever type of relationship you have. If you do not understand the basic differences between men and women, there is bound to be some sort of issues, because you would think the other spouse doesn't love you enough, but they are also, their concern will be the fact that both of you do not understand your makeup. So
mm,
just as love languages can cause confusion if not well understood, the basic differences between men and women, if not well understood, can also bring about issues of concern in marriage. So now we know from Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, Genesis chapter 2, verse 18 to 24, we are speaking from the Christian perspective, that God created man and woman equal in value but different in design. So in Genesis chapter 1, verse 20, we said, and God made male, he created the man and the woman, male and female, he created them. When we move to Genesis chapter 2, then we get the architectural blueprint. We from there we get to know that actually the man was made first, and God made him to sleep, and a rib was taken, and that rib was used to form the woman. There was nowhere in Genesis creation account that God said that the man is superior than the woman. No, he said, male and female created he them. He created us to reflect his image. So he said he created the man in his own image and his own likeness. So the man reflects the image of God, the woman reflects the image of God. We at Beautiful Marriage Garden do not accept that women are downtrodden part of society, that women should be crushed upon, that a woman cannot have a dream, that a woman cannot aspire to be great. That wasn't the original intent of man, of God. We have different designs, different makeups, and that is what identify our sexes. But God created us equal. Now, we also need to understand that these differences are intentional, and they are also necessary for a healthy marriage, a healthy relationship, and a healthy family. Which means that as our Maker made us, He imputed in us these differences as part of our makeup. So it wasn't an afterthought. It wasn't after God created us and realized that, oh, the woman can be pregnant and the man can be a strong person. No, these differences are intentional, and they are intentional because they build healthy homes, they build healthy relationships. Imagine if all of us are the same temperament, the same attitude, the same everything. No, there is this kind of a misnomer that comes when we you want your wife to be the same as you. She cannot. She's different. And also important to know that, like puzzle pieces, we complement each other. We do not compete each other. So myself and Michael, we are having this podcast. We are equal in value, but we are different in design. You could
mm,
actually, if you meet us, you know that our makeup is not the same. However, if you buy a puzzle pieces for your child, or you yourself, you're an adult who like fixing puzzle pieces, you realize that if it is a jagged end, there's another end that clicks on and they form a perfect piece. So
mm,
in our differences, we complement each other. I complement Michael and he complements me. There's nothing like competition between us. We are not competing for fame. We are not competing for achievement. We are not competing for publicity. We are not competing to be known. And this is the understanding. Whenever there is a competition mentality in a matrimonial home, not a complementary mentality, what start is argument, is fight, is disunity. So God made us equal in value, different in design. These differences are intentional but necessary for healthy marriages, relationship, and family. We are like puzzle pieces. We complement each other. We do not compete each other. So if you are in a relationship, leading to marriage. And as at now, there is this feeling of competition. You need to go back to the drawing book and revise. Are we doing this God's way? Competition is not God's design for marriage, it's complementarity. And to continue this, these differences should also act as tools for unity, not obstacles. So I am so different from Michael in so many ways. You see us working together, like we do so many things. In fact, this podcast is one of the many things we do. But even in our different designs, we complement each other in unity, and we are building something together in unity. One of the things we need to understand that even in our world, people have differences, and these differences should not be obstacles. We should rather embrace each other's differences as a tool for unity. And marriage itself, it thrives on the viewpoint that we understand and we serve each other. So we are different in design, we are equal in value. Our differences are tools for unity. They do not become obstacles. You do not say that because you are a man and I'm a woman, we don't understand each other. This is a man's world. This is a woman's world. No, God's original intent was for our differences to be tools for unity. And if you want any relationship, whether you are dating now, you are courting now, you are in a marriage relationship, if you want it to thrive, you need to seek to understand these differences, and we need to seek to serve each other. And God's plan is not for sameness. No. God's plan is for oneness. So if you read Genesis chapter 2, verse 24, um, let me see if Michael,
I
can
can,
you read Genesis 2
sure,
24?
I can read that for you.
Thank you.
So we're talking about Genesis 2:24.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm reading from the New International Version of
Okay.
Genesis 2:24. Stay with me 1 second. All right. So Genesis 2:24, it says that is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh.
Amen. So
Amen.
here, the man and the woman become one flesh. They don't become same flesh. We need to understand that sameness is different from oneness. Oneness talks about unity in thought, unity in ideas, unity in perspective, unity in collaboration, unity even in differences. Sameness talks about we are the same. You have to look like me. You have to be like me. You have to act like me. You have to reason like me. You have to perceive like me. You have to walk like me. No, God's design is for oneness. So when we marry and we become one flesh, it's not a hypothetical saying. It is what God intends for marriage itself to be like. Now,
Mary,
okay, Michael.
I'm just going to make a point. I can't imagine love relationship or even marriage relationship where there are two exactly the same people. How, I mean, how would that work?
Yeah, yeah, it will be very challenging, very difficult because one person will want the other to act as they are, to look as they are. And imagine, though we are dressed in the same color, we are not dressed the same.
Hmm.
We are not talking the same.
Hmm.
You have a very, though you are very firm, you have a soft demeanor. I do not have such soft demeanor. I have my own demeanor which is different from yours, but we complement each other because where we need soft demeanor to get things done, you are there. Where we need somebody who come across as solid, I am there. Not that you are solid too, but like
Hmm.
you usually come across soft spoken. I am the loud one, and it doesn't make me different so much. We complement each other because sometimes
Right.
we will need the soft touch and the hard touch to
Right.
make things work.
Right.
If we are all soft, people will be working on our heads. If we are all hard, we will not even have friends.
Hmm.
So we need to understand that these differences are God's own way of helping build a better home where there are differences in perspective but unity in diversity.
Wow.
Okay, so there are a couple of differences, basic differences between men and women. I don't know how many we will look at today, but I'll try my best. The first one I want to talk about is physical differences. So if you are watching us on YouTube or Facebook, you could see that physically, you might not see our whole body frame, but physically, we are not the same. In First Peter chapter 3, verse 7, Peter described the woman as the weaker vessel. Women, physical outlook, we are soft, we are tender, we tend to be curvy, we tend to be very malleable in the word. Of course, there are women who are heavy, strong-fisted women, but generally, on the average, we tend to be very, very different in physical appearance when it comes to men. While men, on the average, seem to be very strong, hardcore. If you touch the skin of a man and you touch the skin of a woman, you actually know that there are differences between their skins. One is tender, one is not so tender. And the strength of men actually is good for protection, and the tenderness of women is good for nurturing and for caregiving. I can't say that, oh, Michael, you are too strong, you are not like me, you should be like me. No, God made it in such a way that while the man is providing the all that we need for nurturing, for protection and for strength, the woman is nurturing, the woman is soft, the woman is a caregiver. And one of the reasons, of course, in God's own infinite wisdom, women carry pregnancy and women tend to take care of baby because naturally our makeup make it possible for us to be able to do that. Now, we need to understand that each of these roles represent God's complementary design for families. So it gets to a point, personally, when I was growing up, if a man becomes too soft, people tend to look at him like you are acting like a woman. Not that they are women, because they perceive men to be people of strength, people of stature, people who are tempted to fight for their right. Even if you have children, you realize that the male children tend to demonstrate so much strength, agility, stamina. They are always moving ahead. They are fighting ahead. They are forging on. The women or the girls tend to be very soft, tend to be very tender, tend to have their own, like, they are not as hard as the men. So that's a physical difference between man and a woman. So a man who is very well built and uses this physical feature to bully a woman, to beat them, to molest them, is not actually understanding the basic differences between men and women. No matter how much she infuriates you, remember, strength wise, your physical difference gives you a upper hand ahead of her. So you do not use your strength to bully her. And the world is always infuriated when men who are supposed to be the protectors of their wives tend to be their bullies and the people who take them to their early grave. So understand this. Physically, men are stronger. Men tend to have even all the muscles, muscular and all that. For a woman to be muscular naturally, they will have to go to the gym to start lifting up some weights. Some men haven't been to the gym before, but you see the triceps and the biceps, the six packs. Of course, there are men with one pack too, but not the average man is physically stronger than the average woman, and this we need to understand. so that our relationships, marriages, and home will thrive. You don't use your strength to bully her, and vice versa. She doesn't use her tenderness to make you feel that you are oppressing her. I don't know if you want to add something to this before I
Yeah,
go to the next.
there are two things that come to mind that I think is crucial to understand. The first Peter 3:7 account is saying that the woman is a weaker vessel. I mean, someone humorously said both the man and the woman are weak, only that the woman is weaker.
Hmm.
Now, the idea of weaker vessel is not an idea of that connotes less importance. Now, all of us will realize that parts of our body that appear weak, that are delicate or weak, are the part that we give the most attention to, right? Our eyes are delicate, so we will pay close attention to our legs, sometimes even more than our legs, right? So I've heard many people use this to bash their wives or bash their fiancés in relations, say you are the weaker vessel, you are supposed to be submitting. And that's misuse of the scripture. Is the idea is that women are weaker vessels, and so men handle them with care. And as we read on, it even goes ahead to say that if you don't treat your spouse, your wife, or your wife well, it can cause your prayers to be hindered. So I just want to point out the fact that weaker vessel, in the kingdom of God, weakness is actually strength. If you admit to God that you are weak, you need Him, then you get strength. But if you go and say you are strong, then you stay the way you are, right? So, first point, weaker vessel doesn't mean the woman is inferior to the man. The second thing I want to mention that Mary, you rightly mentioned about this making women naturally prone to giving care and nurturing, and then the side of men giving them that strength to protect. Last week we were discussing about the five love languages, and one of in some one previous episode we are talking about discussing issues of house chores. So, for instance, there are some house chores that are naturally caregiving um, related. It's okay for the man to help out in those areas, but if it's just push up to the man and the woman say, okay, I'm the businesswoman, so I'll go for business, you do the caring. There are circumstances that necessitate that. But if you leave those natural caregiving roles to a man, he'll do a bad job. And if you leave those heavy lifting stuff to a woman, it's not a good idea. So we should think of how this can work out in our relationships and our marriages. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome. Thank you for adding your inputs. So I hope if you have any question, comment, please do not hesitate to put in the chat and we will read. And if today's your first time of joining us, so you might want to like this video, share, and subscribe. Okay, now I've talked about physical differences. Now I'm going to the more scientific one. I can see Nurse Irene here. We have medical people online, so I hope my contribution will be aligned to the medical perspective. But of course, I've not studied medicine. I'm just talking from the viewpoint of what I've studied. So if you are here and you have something you might want to add, please feel free. Now, other than the physical differences, we have physiological differences. We have physiological differences. And when we talk about physiological differences, it brings about a lot of things I don't want to go into on this podcast. It's not our focus, it's not our view. But we want to talk about hormonal influences. Hormonal influences. So we have the testosterone versus estrogen and progesterone. We see that the testosterone brings about strength and stamina, and the women we have something else. These are so when people decide, okay, I'm tired of my gender, I want to take another gender. One of the things they start taking is hormones to suppress some and to introduce some hormones which are not, of course, it's not the focus of our conversation, so I will not go into that. However, we need to understand that there are different hormones running through our system. If we don't get this, our hormonal differences alone can bring about a huge part of confusion in our marriage. So you might think that, okay, men have testosterone, so they have the strength, they have the stamina. Remember, women, we have the estrogen, we have the progesterone, and we have endurance. We are able to do multitasking. Men with their strength and stamina cannot endure labor pain. I've watched couple of videos where men follow their wives to labor and fainted there while the wives were comfortably pushing. The men with their muscles were already fainting. This lets us know that even the strength we get as a result of our hormonal differences lead us to do the things our physical makeup allows us to do. So if you're a woman, one of the things physiologically you should be able to do, all things being equal, in the absence of all health conditions and all that, is to be able to take seed, is to be able to carry seed, and to be able to birth seed. A man doesn't have the physical tenderness to do that. A man who want to do this, I don't know how possible it is. Maybe it's scientifically they have to go and plant a womb or all that. But women physiologically are made for this. Women physiologically are made for this task. It blows my mind how much painful labor can be, and that a woman can stand having 5 children, 6 children, some even go as far as 10 children, and all of them going through the same excruciating pain of labor. Meanwhile, a man witnessed one labor experience with a wife, and he's already talking about, we can't have anymore. No, this is a lot. This is too much for you. This is because our hormones are different. So man can have stamina, he can do a lot of big things, carry huge things, muscle, they are muscular. A man can be 70 kg and lift a woman of 120 kg. It's possible because they have the stamina for it. But women are able to endure physical pain, especially pain leading to childbirth. And because of our hormones, a woman can be doing 5 things at the same time. She can be taking care of the children, she can be making lunch, she's thinking about how to process things for the business she's running. One hand is on the laptop trying to send an important email for work. These differences, if well understood, reduces conflict. So you don't ask your woman, what did you bring to the table? No, there is no table and there's nothing. Everybody brings to the table what their physical differences and physiological differences permit. She had given you 6 children, you are still asking, what did she bring to the table? You cannot even bear one. So these differences, if well understood, don't say, oh, you are home doing nothing. She's multitasking. The past few weeks have been roller coaster for me. Like, I just wake up, do back to back to back to back to back. Like, I am working, I am taking care of children, I'm doing the school run, I'm doing dinner, I'm doing laundry, I'm packing up clothes. These are things my husband cannot do all of them at the same time. He will need one part of the brain to do dinner, another part of the brain activated to do laundry, then another part of the brain activated to take care of the children. You see, we don't quarrel about some of these things because I know that physically I am well prepared for it. This does not mean that the man should also allow the woman to do everything if he can help. It's bad that you think that because she's naturally multitasking, you watch her. Of course, she can do everything, but you see, you are not breeding an arena of love. With your testosterone, after she's done all this, give her a good massage, carry her, make her feel good. Lift, make sure that as she's putting the children to bed, you're also doing other things around. When we understand this, you will not feel drained in your marriage, you will not feel drained in your relationship. Remember, men are different, women are different, but in our differences, physiological differences, we complement each other. So we need to understand this. We need to know this. So, for example, when a man understand that, oh, my wife can be multitasking, he also has to learn patience, because she's telling you five things you can do that you know yourself you cannot do, but she knows herself she can do, and you are angry. Why do you want me to do all these things at the same time? But you need to, when you understand it, it breeds patience, because you understand her from a physiological viewpoint. And a woman understand that there is husband has stamina, she has strength, so she will be able to support you, that you are doing all the mental and the physical load. She will support you. She will, we don't fight because you are stronger, you are able to do more, and I'm able to endure more. No, no. I don't know if you want to add something, Michael.
Yeah, I will try to water it down for those in a relationship and even apply to those who are married
Mm-hmm.
because of the hormonal differences. For instance, sometimes our sisters, our wives, they go through challenges um, in their or they go through hormonal seasons or
Yeah.
that impact their mood. And there are times they might not even able to tell you what is happening to them. So you look moody, what's the issue? And say, oh, I don't know. But you look moody. And why? Have I offended you? No. So why are you moody today? I don't know. And genuinely they can't tell you what is going on in a number of cases. You don't say to her, oh, you are too low, or you don't so some people say, oh, you think you are better than everybody, so you are just making yourself look special. No, you sometimes she doesn't even need any words from you, she just needs time alone. Ask her, do you want time alone? Would that be useful? If yes, give her the time alone. Sometimes your talking will even be annoying, or your attempt to make her smile will even be annoying. So it's a thin line. If you met a lady, you are interested and you are trying to um, get her attention, and let's say during that moment she's in a certain state of um, hormonal changes that is impacting her mood, you might be tempted to go away thinking she's proud, not knowing that she's actually maybe a very nice welcoming person. Is just that moment. So at least give, in that instance, give her the benefit of the doubt. Watch her over time. If it's too repetitive, then you might be right in that conclusion. But other than that, you have to also factor these differences in. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. And one of the things I want to add is the fact that, women, we have cycles. And I'm saying cycles because these cycles impact our outlook. So there are some women, they have a very good grasp over it. They know how to manage it. But there are some women, they are not. So at one point, you call her at that particular time in the month, she's down, she's weak, and you're like, but there are times I cry because, like, things are happening you don't even understand. Just understand her from the viewpoint of being a woman. She just needs, as Michael says, she needs probably space, or she just needs your cuddles, because the hormones are making things kind of uncomfortable for her. So imagine a woman who have very painful menstrual cycle, every month for 4 to 5 days, she's in excruciating pain, naturally it will affect the way she relates with you, whether you like it or not. She might not want to be rude to you, but imagine somebody being in pain for 4 to 5 days, and it's not something they can inherently control. They might take some suppressants, some painkillers, but the pain still lingers. So when we understand this, we know how to deal with them. And it's important that you know that having a cycle doesn't make you less of a woman. In fact, it doesn't. If you have hormonal changes during that time, as a lady, the best thing you can do is to steady yourself over time. And if you are married, speak to your husband about it so that you devise ways and means for him to help you at that particular point in time. There are some women, even during the period of ovulation, they are going through a lot of hormonal imbalances. They are just all over the place. Please understand that being a woman doesn't make you less of a person, it doesn't make you inferior. When you get to know these physiological differences, whoever you are married to, whoever you are dating, can also learn, and together you will manage it in such a way that these differences will not bring conflict in your relationship. And to my sisters, never use hormonal differences as a trap. Hormonal differences are not meant to be a trap. So at every point in time, you've become the vulnerable one that has to be appeased. You are like a mini god, a demigod. You have to be compensated. You have to receive roses and flowers and monetary gifts every month. I don't know how long a man can cope up with that. Learn. That's why we need to learn. You see, education is good. It gives us certificates, it gives us qualification for jobs, but education is even better if we can apply it to diverse areas of our lives. We don't only learn at school. One of the areas where we learn is through things such as this podcast. So as I'm talking to you, you are just thinking about it. Okay, how can I help myself as a lady so that my hormonal differences will not cause a concern in my relationship? Don't say that for me. When I marry and I'm in my menses, my husband should always carry me around, put my leg in water, take me to bacillus, take me here and there. You might not get it. So learn how to manage it if you can. And our brothers, learn how to deal with it if you can. Okay, so I'll move on to the next one. Okay, so the third difference I want to talk about is emotional difference. And I know, as soon as you saw emotional difference, hey, the thing has come. The thing has really, really come. Emotionally, we are not the same. Our emotional differences are not traps. I just want to be clear. Our emotional differences are not traps. People use their emotional differences to trap men in relationships that men are not even ready for. It's emotional difference. It's because you are a man or you are a woman, you are a male or you are female, so you are going through different emotions. For example, women possess emotion deeply, and sometimes we seek verbal affirmation. So what can hurt a man less might end up hurting a woman very, very much. Many men or most men are able to process things internally, and they show their love through their actions. So they might not seek your affirmation. If you do something that hurts them, they will just keep it inside. For a man to break up with a woman, a man to ask for a divorce, if there is some kind of conflict, you realize that such men might have, if it's not just their own whims and caprices, such men would have kept a ball of emotions deep, 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 that their pulse is flowing over. Now they can't keep it anymore. So we need to understand, all of a man and a woman both expresses emotion, but we express it differently. So For example, usually I might want to talk to Michael in the day. There are certain conversations, things I hear, stories, I hear news I want to share with her. She might not be interested. She has something, she's thinking of a project, something. What can we do? Maybe a house idea. Oh, how can I learn how to buy a house? Me, I'm thinking of Selassie's wisdom tooth that just started coming and I want to share with. Then he's like, they are important. So this can cause emotional difference if not well processed. So we don't have to put fault on each other, but we do all the time, especially we women. You are at fault. You are at fault. I am a woman, so I know we always want to put fault on them. We don't understand that emotionally the things that move us might not necessarily move them. I've heard of a news. I am so broken. I'm so sad. I can't sleep. I am restless. He's living his life as if nothing matters. As if nothing matters. So, and you are like, why? Why are you not sad? And that is one thing. Sometimes in relationship, we want people to join us in our pity party, especially for us women. If we are sad, our beloved, our husbands, our boyfriends should be sad along with us. They should mourn with us. They should weep with us. But men do not always mourn. Men might not, he will not even find it relevant. Why should I cry? It's life. Life has happened. Let's move on and look for ways to make things better. So, how do we use these emotional differences in our relationships and in our homes? One, we need to encourage each other, respect each other's emotional language. The fact that I am deeply emotional and I seek the verbal affirmation doesn't mean Michael is deeply emotional and he's seeking the verbal affirmation. When we understand this, we know when he's being harsh and we know when he's just being a man. So I don't know if you want to add something to it.
I'll cite an example. I often cite this when we got married in our first year. One of the things I had to quickly learn was that our way of expressing um, excitement and sadness was very, 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 very different. And so I would hear a very loud scream from Mary. And then I'll rush. I'll ask, "Are you okay? What's going on? Have you hurt yourself? Did the knife cut you? No. What's the issue? Oh, our friend just gave birth." I said, "Oh, that's good news. Why do you scream like that?" And then other times, he might, she might come share a news with me that's like a very good news, and I'll say, "Oh, we praise God." And that's the answer. And it's like, "Oh, why you are not happy? Why are you not happy?" But it took us time to realize that, okay, the way we express the way our emotions come out in expressing our joy and our sadness differ. So that you don't give, as a lady, you don't give, maybe you don't buy, you don't go and spend something, invest your time, energy to search for the best gift to give to your spouse or your beloved. And it turns out that he says, "Thank you." And the way you think that, oh, she doesn't appreciate it, why is he so ungrateful? But sometimes you just have to learn that we express joy and sadness differently, so that alone can minimize the conflict in our homes.
Thank you so much. This has just, I think I remember in the very first few weeks of our marriage, I was always that there was one time I hurt my toe because they fixed this acrylic nail for the wedding. I haven't in fact that was my first, probably my last. I don't know if I will ever wear it again. And it was so challenging. I didn't even know how to walk in these acrylic nails. It was so long. Every minute I'm hurting myself and I'll be screaming so loud. I was expecting my new husband to be cuddling me whenever I hurt my toe. But he emotionally he was hurt too that I'm hurting myself. But he was like, no, if this is hurting you, just go and take it off. Why scream all the time? Why being concerned all the time? Men's emotion, not that they don't care about you, but they are looking for alternate. They are looking for resolutions. They are looking for results. So you are concerned that that dress you bought is making you feel tight, and you want him to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." No, she will just say, "Don't wear it." Then you can give it out or go and return it. But that is exactly what women don't want to hear. So emotionally, we are different, and we need to understand this. Okay, now the next thing I want to talk about, the next thing I want to talk about is our mental and evolutional differences. We need to understand that mentally and evolutionally, we are not the same. Men are goal oriented, women relational focus. There are some conversations that even now, when Michael started them, I'm like, it's too early. It's too he just went out and seen some business idea, and he's coming to tell me, oh, we can go into this business. I'm thinking of the family income. I've done all the analysis breakup of like how much money will be left to go into business. I we don't he is thinking that okay, if we go into this business and we are able to make money, then the family will be stable. I am thinking of something else. We need to understand that even our thought patterns are not the same. So because they are goal oriented, they are linear in their decision making. They have step by step by step by step. Okay, on the other hand, women, we are relational. We just want, like, it's better for us to keep relationships than to even go for business ideas. And because of that, we consider multiple variables. I'm a typical woman, so I know this is true. Variable A, why this cannot work, and if this work, this can even be a trigger. And if this trigger doesn't work, this other trigger down below has a likelihood of affecting what we are talking about. We need to understand that because of this, decision making can be a big challenge. There are couples, they can't decide on anything, and that is because they are different. They have different mental differences, they have different evolutionary differences. So if you don't understand, you'll be like, as for my wife, she doesn't understand. And the woman will also say, my husband doesn't understand. It's because both of you don't understand that you are different. So now, when the goal oriented person brings about their voluminous goals, what happens with the complementarity is that the woman who is relational and considers multiple variables brings about input that can be used to sieve these plenty things the man is looking out to do. So if the man want to probably in the next 1 year, let's buy a house, and as such we need to save this amount of money to get at the deposit. It's good to have a house, but the woman is thinking of, no, we just started this new job. I don't, if we have to save this amount of money every month, we will be draining ourselves. Financially, it will be difficult for us. Mentally, it will stress us. We have this to pay for. We have family members to take care of. We have ABC. And if we do all the balances, it doesn't tally. Let's plan to buy the house in the next 2 years or the 3 years. But the man is thinking that no, I think we can do this in the next 1 year. Let's try to save this specific amount of money every month. The woman said, no, it's not possible. If we save this specific amount of money every month, the kitchen front will suffer. The taking care of the home will suffer. And the man said, no. This person said, no. This person said, no. If we don't bring about our logical reasoning and our empathetic balance onto each other, we will not make any decision. I'm just checking my time. I think I will not be able to finish this talk today. I'll have to continue next week. But we need to understand that, don't say, why don't you think like me? They don't think like you because they are not like you. You are different. You are not the same. No. You have differences that complement each other. So we need to understand that, okay, man is goal oriented and a woman is relational focused. A man can actually be talking bad against political powers. Oh, this president, they will use bad words. This same man has other priorities whom they've not even met, because they want goals, goal oriented. They support their teams to play. That's also another topic. We'll probably talk about that next week. And they are thinking that Christian Ronaldo should score, and he doesn't score, and she's like, oh, why didn't he score? Is he this? Is he that? That is another aspect of their differences I wouldn't delve into. But it's also because men are goal oriented. As we have this podcast, we are talking to you. You are thinking, oh, I can see a comment, very true. Very, very true. You are thinking of all the times you've disagreed with your partner, you've disagreed with your spouse, if you're a woman, because you were thinking at the bigger picture, and he was thinking about goals, he was thinking about achievement, he was thinking about what we can do. It is good that we think difference. We bring our differences together. So you want to establish a business, and you use your relational focus to give him advice. If he doesn't take it, there's a likelihood that there might be a hurdle he would have to cross in the future because he failed to listen to your idea. There is a comment here. Are all these differences generic, or could there be a couple who have some of these differences swapped? Example, a man who is more intuitive and the woman more logical, a man more relational. Yeah, thank you so much, El Papa, for this question. Are these differences generic? So the average man, the average woman will have these differences. But of course, there are always people who are at the end of the spectrum. They seem to be, there are women who are more, in fact, let's be real. Those of us who grew up from Africa, we've seen men who had no goals. They were only thinking about themselves, football, soccer. They were not thinking about goals. They didn't even bother thinking about educating their children. They didn't even have plans. They were just interested in, oh, making the babies, making the baby. They didn't have goals. Oh, so if I have 3 children, 4 children, how am I going to take care of them? They were not so much goal oriented. There are men like that, of course. And there are women who are more logical. Like they will do the calculations, they will do the oh, if we go into this business, it will be good for us. So in some homes, there are women who run the businesses while the men take care of the babies. I don't know if you've seen this before. So of course, though the average man is supposed to be more logical and the average woman is supposed to be more empathetic, there are times that different people possesses these different traits, and surprisingly God makes it in such a way that they marry each other. So a logical woman will always marry, like Abigail and Neighbor. You could see that the person was more logical in her thinking was Abigail. And the man, I'm not saying that Neighbor is a typical personality of a man, no. But the Bible calls him a fool, and so he is. But Abigail had to step in the shoes of the man. What the man was supposed to do, Abigail had to step in and do that. And there are many homes all over the world where women are wearing the heart of men, not because they are widows or they are divorced, but their husbands do not carry this trait that they are supposed to naturally share. Of course, it also can be as a result of their background and experiences. There are some men who grew up in environments where women were in charge, especially in matrilineal societies where women were in charge. And as such, they saw their aunties and their mummies working so hard. Their fathers, they will go to the farm, come back and sit at the public square and be playing drafts, be playing cards. But they saw their mothers doing business, and as such, they grow into it thinking that this is how it's supposed to be. Michael, do you want to add something to it?
Yes. So you rightly said there are extremes of these cases. These are the general cases. Now, I want to draw the line between these traits and responsibility. These traits that we have, these differences in our makeups, makes us more suited for certain responsibilities in the home. We know that the man is the head of the house. In other words, he's the visionary. He's the person who waits on God, hears from God, and tells the family, this is what God is saying about the family. Of course, the woman would also be directing, but primarily, the man is answerable to Jesus and also represent Jesus to his family. In that case, if a man is definitely not goal oriented at all as a visionary, you can see that there's a problem there
Mm.
in his role as a leader, right? So even when there is a same that, let's say, for like an example is uh, Ahab and Jezebel, right? At the time when that field issue came up, Ahab, the man, was crying or was sad, and his
Yeah.
wife was, oh, why are you sad? I stand up here. Right. But the point here is that irrespective of, let's say you are a man, naturally you are empathetic. That is not to say that your trait is swapped. You may have a pastoral call on your life that may that you need that empathy to fulfill that call, right? So in any case, it doesn't negate your responsibility. You need to still make sure you are fulfilling your responsibility. So I wouldn't call that a swap necessarily, but I would say that that may be a physical, that may be part of your upbringing or something that has to do with you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Michael. And thank you, El Papa, for that comment. Now, there's a question on Facebook. How can couples manage ego clashes in marriage when faced with differences in mindset and will? How can couples manage ego clashes in marriage when faced with differences in mindset and will? Would you want to respond to that,
You
Michael?
okay? I can say something later about that.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that ego clashes, I'm interpreting that to mean we have different mind views about something, and we have
Yeah.
our own ego feeling that we want that done.
Hmm.
I think we face this all the time in our relationships, not just love relationship, but in a lot of stuff, human relation, we face that. Now, one of the scriptures I think is Philippians 2 that says that every man should not think of himself as better than the other, rather think of others as. Immediately you begin to have the interest of the other at heart, it has a way of dealing with your ego. Ego says that I want it done this way because it's me or it's coming from me. Having the other person's interest at heart means that I want it done this way, but I'm also willing to see from their lens to see if there is, maybe I'm getting it wrong. So, in an instance where you have differences in mindset, I think as couples or people in a relationship, it's important to sit down and talk about the issues. So,
Yes.
communication, sit down. Okay, this is what, and in that conversation, it's important to strip off our ego and think, put ourselves in the shoes of the other, and for once criticize our own point of view and see if you can come into a compromise. But once the ego is stripped and the conversation is had, I think that should be more or less an answer. If that doesn't resolve it, then you might want to talk to a third person.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, communication, communication. Somebody will say communication is key. That is why it is very dangerous when there is a couple, whether married, dating, that cannot sit down to have a well-meaning or a meaningful communication. Please, we all can have different perspective towards things, and understanding that we are different can even bring this perspective to be very wide apart. But when couples face these clashes, the best thing is to sit each other down and to talk in love. And one of the things too we are learning through this podcast and other teachings all over the internet is the fact that you are not the custodian of all knowledge in the world. So sometimes we need to understand that I'm wrong. One of the most difficult things for us to say, especially for us women, is I'm sorry. It's like a big deal for us. We don't want to feel like we are the ones who are wrong. The most important thing to do as a couple to say I'm sorry to each other. Even though you think you are right, if she says she's sorry, you to say you are sorry. Now, after you bring the I'm sorry to the table, you can now sit down on a neutral perspective and then trash the issues, looking at the pros and the cons. If we don't take care, ego alone will crash your marriage, will dampen your joy, and will not even make you want to marry again. There are a lot of marriages that have broken down because of ego. The men and the women could not understand each other. They could not, if even political parties have brought about, because she's in party A, he's in party B. She wants to ride a 4x4, he wants a salon car, or he wants to build a duplex, he wants to get a townhouse. These things can all cause confusion. It can bring miscommunication. I've seen couples who have fought at their marriage counseling because of ego clashes. The man want to have a simple wedding. The woman want to have 15 bridesmaids behind her. The man is saying that no, this is a total waste of money. We could just do it simple. She said, no, it is my day. I should shine like a star. And right before their counselor, they've disgraced themselves, fought, and you can imagine what they are entering this marriage with. There was recently a video circulating on social media, a man who slapped the wife on their wedding day. If we don't understand these differences, not even if God comes to sit in our homes himself, we will still not be able to fix it unless we do understand this and live by it accordingly. Our
Mary,
time is
I
okay.
will add one last thing to it by saying that when we are communicating and discussing the issues, we all need to learn how to talk about issues without attacking one another. That's sometimes very difficult for many of us. You see this not playing well at all in the area of politics. So that's a place to learn how the bad example is. So one politician, rather than talking about the issue at hand, we want to attack one another to look good. So the issue is, let's say there's money mismanagement. Rather than saying you are always mismanaging money, last time too you did it, and no, what is the issue? Now you can understand the issue. The next step is what is the way forward. It's not time for blaming. It Solution is what we want. And now I'm thinking like Mary is saying, we want the result, right? So it's not, when we are talking about the issues, let's stay on the issue rather than just attacking one another. Once attack comes, blaming comes, the issue will not be solved. It only add up more hurt. So why not put that aside, trash the issue out, and then next time you can talk about, okay, next time, please don't do this. This was why we got into this mess. This was the decision you made. You invested this amount, you didn't tell me. And so we are here. So this is the way forward and so on. So let's learn to trash issues.
Okay,
Maybe
thank
I'll
you
hand
so
over there.
much, Michael. Yes, there's a comment here by upbringing plays a major role. I can't overstate this. People who grew up in very toxic homes, 90% of the time, research has found out that if they don't get mentorship, training, or somebody to hold their hands, they also generate the cycle of toxicity in their own home. So you could feel that in a home, there was a mother who fought with her husband and they divorced with the three children. the three children, all the three of them, some have married, they've divorced because they couldn't settle with the issue. Some have scattered all over. Upbringing matters. And for those of us who are yet to be married, don't take this conversation lightly. The children are watching us every step of the way. They have their unique traits, but they are also learning from us. They are also learning from us. One of the days ago, I saw my eldest trying to reprimand the middle one. He said, I told you, do not do that. And I saw myself at play in her. That is how she sees me when I'm like giving them, don't do that. And she was trying to copy me. We are teachers of our children. Don't say, oh, they go to school to learn. In school, they learn not so much, but at home, they are watching living epistles. They are watching videos of our lives being played to them. So, all these differences we are talking about, we can help our children understand their own selves. The confusion we have in this world now is that children do not even understand the basic difference between men and women. They say everybody is the same. These conversations must start from the home. Let your child know you are a girl and you are different, and these are your basic differences. At one point in time, you will start having menstruation, you will have a cycle, and things will start changing in your body. You will have puberty coming up. Let your son know you are different, that from age maybe 10 to 11, puberty will start coming. You will have a deeper voice, you will start growing hair elsewhere. These need to be understood. If children don't even understand this, they will have difficulty dealing with the fact that I am a boy and I'm
Mm,
a girl. And they
mm.
grow up as confused adults, messing up things, societal things, and all that there is. So please, we are over our time. I'm going to end here, but we need to understand that these conversations doesn't just end in marriages. It starts at home. It comes out from the home to the marketplace. When we don't start well at home, it breeds an arena for confusion among our children. Now a child will come and say, oh no, we are all the same, men and women, because they don't even understand. I don't know why I'm going through that level, but maybe there's somebody who watched this video another time who needs to hear this. So thank you all. This is just the first four. Next week when we meet, Michael, I promise I will finish up with the topic of the basic differences between men and women. But we are
No
15 minutes
rush.
over our time.
No rush.
So
No
I,
rush.
I will end here.
Okay. Before we end, I want to just give a quick announcement that those who were not here at the beginning might have missed. We are about to launch our new book titled How to. So I'm going to share my screen in a second. So, Single and Searching, the lady's guide to find and attract the right husband. Practical wisdom keys, wisdom for ladies who are preparing for marriage. Now, this is one of the very first time we are doing something like this. We are trying to talk to as many people who want their voice to be heard, whether you are married or you're single and you feel that you have something to share. We would like to book a time with you, have a conversation with you, and so include your thoughts in this book, and you become you'll be acknowledged in the process as well. If you believe you have something to share as far as the choice of a spouse or even the struggles that ladies go through in searching for a spouse, whether you are married or single, then you should just reach out at mybeautifulmarriedgarden@gmail.com or www.beautifulmarriedgarden.com/counseling and let me know of your interest. We'll book a time and then we have the conversation and you will be in our book. This is our the first time we are doing something like this. The second announcement, we've gotten a lot of people asking us, where can we find the previous podcasts that we have recorded? So on our YouTube page at My Beautiful Married Garden, you see all the series we've done so far. The most recent was the love languages, important conversations. We spoke extensively on marriage proposals, what to do, what not to do, physical features, and then healing from past relationships. So those are where you find the past recordings. Share them with friends. Let people have them. Let people be blessed by them. Thank you once again, Mary, for taking us through. And wherever you join us from, we want to really thank you for making the time and staying. We've gone about 16 minutes behind above our time. We do apologize for that. And we really look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, we ask God to keep you and stay blessed. Mary, any final words for us?
Yes, my final thought. The basic differences between men and women should actually be part of your package for counseling. If you are
Mm.
not married yet, if you are dating, you are yet to date, this is a conversation you might want to follow up on. If you want to reach us on, you can fill our Google form, or you might want to watch this video and the subsequent video, watch it with the one you are dating. Understand this for yourself, because you don't want to enter into marriage before you. For some of us, we had to, though we had access to side documents, it was in marriage that we saw it really at play, that we needed to apply the knowledge. We don't want you to go through that cycle. It's better you get equipped very well, so that when you enter marriage, this thing will not be a challenge for you. But we want to say God bless you so much for keeping up with us even till now. We pray that the week smile upon you. May God's mercy locate you everywhere you go. And once again, this is the Beautiful Marriage Garden podcast, and we look forward to having you join us another time next week. So see you next week.
Stay blessed, everybody. Mary, I think we should be writing a book on this topic. If people would be interested, you can just let us know if that's something you will have a book written extensively on this subject. Let us know if that's something you find useful. Have a blessed weekend, everybody, and we see you next week. Stay blessed.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, hey! It's Saturday! Guess what? It's time for the Beautiful Marriage Garden podcast!
Every Saturday at 11 a.m. EST, we talk about love, faith, and godly relationships.
Just search for Beautiful Marriage Garden on YouTube and don't forget to subscribe.
Even married couples can learn a lot. Tell your mommy and daddy to watch too.
See you every Saturday at 11. Beautiful Marriage Garden, where love grows God's way.